You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans. We all know Salem is a revolving door of people in and out, but there are some characters that have been gone for a while that fans would love to have back on a long-term or a more permanent basis. Of course, Stefano DiMera is gone for good, even though they tend to try and bring him back in other people's bodies. And Victor Kiriakis is, of course, gone. But there are plenty of other characters that we miss and could still have back, even if the characters themselves are supposedly dead. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we are going to talk about some beloved Salemites that we would love to see return. Please click that subscribe button before we get into it. All right, first thing, so some fans love to love her, some fans love to hate her. Hurricane Sami Brady is a top request for a long-term return. Even when she does short-term returns, you know, she is the ultimate queen of chaos. And when Alison Sweeney is back on Days of Our Lives, even Sammy's short visits pack a real punch. She absolutely stunned Lucas and their son Will, and also her exes, EJ and Rafe, her other exes, when she announced that she had gone and gotten engaged. And maybe Sami will turn up with her new fiance, Dante Vitale, and we get to meet him. There are even online petitions asking for Alison Sweeney to come back for good, but she is very busy with Hallmark movies and other projects, so I would be stunned if we ever got Sami back for anything long-term because Alison Sweeney just has so many commitments. Speaking of Sami, though, another return that we'd love to see is her son, Will Horton, who is now played by Chandler Massey. We see Will now and then, but not for too long at any time. So when John Black passed away, and then they had the gala for the Tom Horton Free Clinic, we got a peek at Will, but fans would love to have him back in Salem full time with his hubby, Sonny Kiriakis, especially since Will and Gabby's daughter, Ariana, is in Salem for college and the foreseeable future. And a lot of viewers would love to see Will back just as, you know, more Horton representation. All right, next on the list is a resurrection that a lot of fans would really like to see, and that is Paige Larson, who was played by True O'Brien. It's been a decade since Paige was on, and she was on Days of Our Lives briefly, just from 2014 to 2015, before horrible tragedy struck. She's the daughter of Eve Donovan and Eduardo Hernandez, and the niece of Teresa Donovan. And young Paige's life was, you know, fraught with drama. Her ending was terribly tragic. She was a piano prodigy, and she dated JJ Devereaux. If you don't remember her, they were high school sweethearts for a bit, but Eve hated JJ and wanted him out of Paige's life. And in a typical soapy twist, at one point, JJ and Eve had a steamy affair, but Jennifer Horton caught them and she blackmailed Eve to back off and let JJ get back with Paige. And then later, she was dating a creepy drug dealer who worked for Clyde Weston, and Paige was planning to give info to JJ about the guy because at that point he was undercover DEA, I think. But then Necktie Killer Ben Weston strangled Paige to death in her dorm room, and Eve later, many years later, made sure to make Ben pay when she kidnapped and tormented him. Now, of course, Paige has been back as a ghost, but since JJ's back in Salem and seems to be sticking around for a while, it would be nice if Days resurrected Paige, and they resurrected other Necktie Killer victims. You know, Will was one of them, and he's back, so why not Paige? Moving along, another character that fans would love to see back is Claire Brady. She was last portrayed by Isabel Durant. We know that Belle Black and Sean Brady's daughter had some really big drama in her life lately. So Claire was living in South Africa and dating Theo, but then he abruptly came back to Salem because he broke up with Claire after she cheated on him. And her dad, Sean, recently was in South Africa visiting Claire, and he and Belle, of course, both missed their daughter. And with a lot of recent mentions of Claire and then with Sean just visiting her, maybe she's back soon. Plus, Claire may need to come back because her dad, Sean, may be in some life and death drama based on the big new Days of Our Lives promo that came out. It looks like he might be shot. Also, there's a couple of couples that fans would like to see back and see back together. One is a duo that we see on holidays and special events, fairly regularly, a few times a year. And that's Lani and Eli Grant. And of course, they're twins, Jules and Carver. They came back recently to meet Chanel and Johnny's adopted son, Trey, and to attend the Horton Gala. Plus, Eli has some FBI business to talk about with Rafe. And of course, we know that Eli and Lani will always be back for the holidays, but wouldn't it be great if Lani and Eli and the twins came home to Salem for good? I know Abe and Paulina would love it. And of course, so would fans, so would Theo, so would all their loved ones, Julie, everybody. Another couple that fans would love to see back, but seems like a long shot, is Ben and Ciara Weston. And of course, they're two little kitties, Bo and Addie. But they seem to be having fun sailing around the world on Fancy Face, and it would be kind of a problematic return since Robert Scott Wilson is on screen now as Alex Kiriakis. So it seems like a long shot, and that's why we generally only get Ciara back without Ben. But I had to mention it because it's something that fans asked for. Speaking of Stephanie Johnson's man, Alex, I think it'd be a whole heck of a lot of fun and drama to have Joy Wesley back in Salem soon, because at this point, she should be ready to pop with her and Alex's baby, or may have already popped that puppy. If you recall, Joy lied to Alex and Stephanie and said she was not pregnant when she most certainly was. So, maybe Joy waddles back into Salem in time to drop the baby, or waltzes back in holding an adorable newborn. Alex said he's interested in kids, but Stephanie doesn't seem to be. But in that big, long promo, it looks like Alex and Stephanie might be getting married. So that's a perfect time for Joy to walk right back in, because we know Salem weddings attract disaster. Another couple that people are dying to see return for more than just a minor arc or a drive-by, of course, is OG super couple Bo and Hope Brady. We got a really flimsy return when Bo first came back from the dead, when Megan brought him back, and then he was shot by Sean and fell into a coma. Then we got the whole Bo sepsis story, which wasn't so much a Hope and Bo reunion story. It was more designed to exit John Black after Drake Hogestyn passed away. So it wasn't about bringing Bo and Hope Brady back to us. And boy, I think it'd be great to see them return and for them to have a lengthy arc, at least for a while. One last duo I'd like to see back is not a romantic pair, but a mother and son. I think it'd be a whole lot of fun to get Vivian Alamain back for an arc along with her son, Stefano DiMera. And if you remember, Vivian and Yvonne kidnapped and hijacked Stefan back to Alamania last year. Stefan is always fun, and it would definitely complicate things for a new couple, Gabby and Philip, if Stefan returned and explained he never wanted to divorce Gabby, that his mom, Vivian, forged the papers and threw them Gabby's way and then shoved Stefan in a trunk. Drop your comments. Let me know who you want to see back to Days of Our Lives.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.